All right. Yeah. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for showing up to web development at Berkeley's second info session of the school year. Just some quick tips before we actually get started. First of all, our attendance form will be distributed at the end of the info session. So please make sure to stick around for that so we can keep track of who came. Our applications are due tomorrow night at 11:59 p.m. So please make sure you get it in by then. We're not going to be having like a late deadline or anything. So yeah. And last but not least, we'll have a Q&A session at the end through breakout rooms. So if you want to be able to chat with members of our club and get to know us on a more personal level, please stay tuned, stick around for that as well. So yeah, let's introduce ourselves. Before we go any further, yeah, my name is Anjan Bardwaj. I'm a sophomore CS major here at Berkeley, and I'm one of the co-presidents here. This is my fourth semester in the club, and something that I've really enjoyed about WDB over these past semesters has been like the people that I've met. I found a really amazing community and a great group of friends here. I'll pass it off to Alina.
Hi guys, I'm Alina. I'm a fourth year studying computer science, and I'm also one of the co-presidents of WDB. Overall, I'm just super thankful I found WDB because it allowed me to further my interest in web development and pursue a career developing web apps in industry. Handing it off to Nico.
Hey guys, I'm Nico. I'm a junior studying computer science and data science at Berkeley. This is my second year in WDB, or second semester in WDB. And the collaboration between developers and designers is something that I've had a really hard time finding even in industry and every other club I've been in. So it's just awesome. I'll pass it off to Justin.
All right. Hey guys, I'm Justin. I'm a junior studying CS and applied math. I'm one of the co-external VPs along with Nico. Really excited to be working with him this semester. And yeah, I was one of the I guess original founders in WDB. And it's kind of interesting to see, or it's really exciting to just see how far we've grown ever since the beginning of when we first started the club to where we are now. And yeah, with that, I don't think Kaylin is here, but Kaylin is our VP of education of the decal, and I'll pass it off to Edward.
Hi everyone, my name is Edward. I'm a junior studying computer science. This is my third semester with WDB. And one of the things I really enjoy about this club is how design-centered it is. A lot of other clubs don't put in as much effort to make things look nice and produce beautiful designs. And so, yeah, passing it off to Alexis, who is our VP of design.
All right. Hi, everyone. I'm Alexis. I'm a third year studying Cog Sci and CS, and I'm the VP of design. Basically, I think my favorite part of WDB is really working and connecting with really skilled designers and actually getting to see those designs get developed and also launched on the internet. So you can actually see your designs out there in the world. And it's a really rewarding feeling. And yeah, I'll pass it off to Dominic.
Hello, I'm a sophomore computer science major, and this semester I am the VP of internal, which means that I get to plan all of our socials this semester. I'm looking forward to retreat, banquet, and all of the socials that we're going to have this year.
Okay, awesome. Yeah. So hopefully you guys got a chance to know a little bit about us, but you're probably still wondering who exactly are we? I mean, apart from a group of people who can develop webs, apparently. Yeah, so Web Development at Berkeley is UC Berkeley's premier web design and development organization. We're a group of students focusing on building the web development and design community here. And in order to do that, we've got 3 different initiatives that we run. Our first is the full stack decal. We had 2 info sessions about that already this past week. And if you want to check out the recording for that, you can find it on our Facebook page after the event. But apart from that, within the club itself, we have our product bootcamp. This is intended for junior developers and designers. And over the course of the semester, we will transform you into industry-ready creators who have got the experience to architect and develop high-quality, scalable web apps. And our other branch is our industry branch. This is intended for more experienced developers and designers. You'll develop a web app for clients and further their startup, business, initiative, whatever that they're trying to get out. So that's a brief overview of what exactly the club is. And a little bit more about us, our alumni and our members, they head to all sorts of different companies for internships and jobs post-grad. Here are just a couple of them. So whether it be slaving away for the Zuck at Meta or building stuff for pro Roblox gamers, we're super proud of where our members have gone. And yeah, it's really been great to see all the great things that they've done. But we also love to work on our own startups and side hustles. At the end of the day, what really sets us apart from all the other tech clubs out there is this entrepreneurial culture that pretty much every single person in our club shares. We love to stay scrappy, build some really amazing products, and have fun while doing it. So here are just some of the amazing startups that our members have worked on or are currently working on in the club. And unfortunately, one of our most recent club startups, the Baby as a Service, it didn't end up as big of a success we thought it might be. Something about no target market or whatever. Here's going back to WDB. Here's just a couple of the past clients that we've worked with. We usually partner with startups and Berkeley organizations. So especially these nonprofits, we'll work with them 100% pro bono to develop their online presence. We also have the privilege to work with some of the hottest new startups coming onto the tech scene. Like a really cool thing about WDB is the fact that we love to work with fast and lean startups where we can really make a difference on their product as compared to a larger company. And another side benefit is we get to meet some pretty amazing people. In the past, we've worked with Y Combinator founders, leaders in the ed tech field, and so many more people. So on that note, here's just an example of the kind of work that you might work, or the kind of projects that you might build. These are some past client projects that we built last semester, actually. Here is a project for Go Ahead Ventures, it's a venture capital firm, unfortunately based out of Stanford. But yeah, this is like a really beautifully designed static site. And yeah, like this is just to show off the amazing designs and front end that our teams work on. But you'll also be building full stack web apps, so things that include a backend and have tons of functionality. So here's another one called Politic. This is it's like the LinkedIn of politics. You can kind of think of it, mapping individuals and campaigns. And yeah, we created like a whole job application system for them. Sorry, my Wi-Fi is kind of slow, but yeah, this is like another example of something you might get to build. So passing it off to Edward to talk more about the product bootcamp, which I mentioned at the earlier. Oh,
sorry. Thanks, Anjan. Up next, I want to take a little bit of time to talk about our product bootcamp, where we make your successes look like failures. Next slide, please. I'm just kidding, just a little bit. But we do believe that the best way to prepare for industry is a rigorous curriculum paired with adequate support and personalized mentorship. So although we're throwing you in the deep end a little, the counselors and I are there to support you through every step of the way. It's important to note that unlike our decal, we're not an introductory program. We work with larger code bases and use more third-party tools, libraries, and frameworks. Just something to know. A few things we look for in our applicants: entrepreneurial spirit, that's a big one. We really want you to take ownership of your product, get excited about the possibilities, and constantly push to improve it. In Product Bootcamp, we also try to help campers in the dev track become good engineers. It's really important, for example, that campers are able to work within existing design patterns so that they don't end up rewriting existing code if they don't have to. That's especially important when working in a team on a larger code base. And of course, all applicants should be willing to commit at least or between 8 to 10 hours a week, since there is a lot of material to cover and there's a new project every week. Next slide. Yeah, speaking of content, here's a brief overview of what you'll be learning as a dev camper. We try to get the foundational stuff out of the way fast. So that's TypeScript, React, CI/CD, which is continuous integration and development, the ins and outs of React hooks, Redux for more advanced state management on larger projects. And up next, we have front end and back end. Developers do learn both front end and back end. There are no separate tracks, so you get a full stack education. For front end, we've got Storybook for visual testing, Chakra style system, and PM is sort of in the middle. So all campers learn about agile development processes, Scrum sprints, And in addition, 3 of the campers will serve as product managers. It's great prep for an industry PM role if that's what you're interested in. Lastly, but not least, we've got backend. That's MongoDB, Node.js, and various cloud options like Amazon Web Services, Google Cloud Platform, Firebase, etc. Yeah, those are the first 3 bullet points. But in addition to the weekly projects, we also have a client project / startup idea. That's where you work on a team, a Scrum-based team with both dev and design campers, sort of using what you know to stitch together a full stack project. Yeah, by the time, I know it's a lot, but by the time you graduate bootcamp, the goal is for you to be ready to take on any web development project you want and work with teams to build amazing things. And that's it for me. I'll hand it off to Alexis Kim, our VP of Design and the head of design track in Bootcamp.
All right, hello. Yes, so we also have a design branch in our product bootcamp, and this is for people who are like specifically interested in learning and practicing the UI and UX side of web design. And so here we're going to teach you everything from like basic graphic and web design. Also learn like industry design techniques that are heavily applicable to like real client projects, and you'll receive a lot of personalized feedback on your work from the experienced designers in our club. And so for our bootcamp, we're looking for people who are really enthusiastic about design thinking and also really committed to learning and developing their web design skills. And if we go to the next slide, we have a brief snapshot of the design curriculum. So first, we're going to start you off by teaching the basic design principles and also how to use the Figma software, aka my love in my life. We'll go through the UX practices and design case studies so that you actually understand what is good design and then how you can actually take a human-centered approach to your work. And then after you've learned those techniques, we'll teach you those like industry-specific soft skills, like nailing those design briefs and proposals, like really fighting for or like explaining your design decisions, and also working with, and many times like compromising with your clients so that you can really put out the best end product. And lastly, you'll get to use everything that you learned in the design branch and put it to work on an actual client project along with the other designers and developers in the bootcamp. And I think it'll be a really rewarding experience. Yeah. And the next slide, yes, this will be you if you join the product bootcamp. I'll give you all my love and care. And now I'll pass it off to our VP externals to talk about our industry branch.
Awesome. Yeah, okay, so real quick, I want to talk about the industry branch. So this is led by Nico and myself, and a little bit about what we do. We are in charge of everything from client acquisition to outreach, as well as our external client projects, overseeing the industry branch as a whole, which includes developers, designers, and product managers. And the idea is just that we're creating an experience, a development experience for developers and designers to really experience the full development lifecycle, starting from design to front end and back end as well. We're expecting around 8 to 10 hours weekly commitment, because you'll be working with your project teams on different client projects, ability to work efficiently in a constantly evolving distributed team, working with different people of different like disciplines, front end, back end, full stack, design as well. And overall, you'll just be committing to working on a startup, which ultimately is going to be really high impact, and we want to be able to deliver really meaningful products. Yeah, next slide. I think we're going to go ahead and talk about a couple. Actually, I'll go ahead and pass off to Nico to talk about some skills required to be in the industry branch.
Yeah, thank you, Justin. So basically, we try to keep up to date on a lot of the frameworks and platforms that we use when we're doing the front end and back end for all these projects. So for the most part, all of our projects, our front end projects, are built with React and React based frameworks like Next.js, that kind of thing. So we do generally look for HTML, CSS, and JavaScript skills because of the base. Those are the baseline for all those front end tools. React is preferred, but Angular, Vue, Next are all also totally fine. You know, there's a lot of different projects, different clients want different stuff, so all that works. And on the backend side, we do prefer experience with JavaScript, some sort of database like MongoDB or something, and Google Cloud Services. REST API, cloud computing like AWS, and then experience using Node.js and that kind of stuff for or other backend services for all of our projects. And I'll pass it back off to Justin, I believe.
Yeah. Oh, actually, it's Alex.
Okay, actually it's me.
Sorry.
So I'm back. So one thing that's actually like super awesome about working with startups is that a lot of them need like a very comprehensive design, which means that our client projects will typically have like 2 to 3 designers along with a design mentor. So if you're a more experienced designer, you're going to have the opportunity to work on one of our industry client projects for the semester. And you'll work through the whole design process, like maybe doing like starting with background research and then going through user flows, sketches, and then mocking up low fidelity screens up to really beautiful and engaging like high fidelity mockups and delivering that to the developers. And so you might even also propose or a new rebrand or a design system as well. And so in the industry design, we're really looking for people who have a solid understanding of the design process and have experience and good skills in making mockups and prototypes on web design software like Sketch or Figma. And we're also looking for applicants who can really clearly and reliably communicate with the developers and the clients about the design decisions that they make. And if we go to the next slide, I'll present some examples of the types of websites that our club members have designed, developed, and also launched. So these are actually out here on the internet, so feel free to check them out. But for an overview on each of these, Go Ahead Ventures is like a venture capital fund that works with entrepreneurs at the early stages of their company. And they wanted like a very like clean aesthetic and like user-friendly site. So the developers actually proposed a new design system for them and also redesigned their logo. They went with a very like simple like red monochromatic red color palette with this like arrow motif, and they really made like a very interesting hierarchy with the typography. So there's like this dark and versus the bold, and then like outlined lettering that like draws the user's attention to the right places. And then in the middle we have Launch Party, which is a UC Berkeley startup and crowdfunding platform. And so the developers, I mean the designers made like a very cool and sharp and corporate yet very like bright and dynamic website. And so you can see how they incorporated some like modern design trends with like the glass screens and the very tasteful use of white space. And lastly, at the very end, there's the Barracuda Technologies, which is a company that makes biodegradable fibers from unused natural resources. And so the designers here worked from scratch and made a new logo and website for them. And on this landing page, they came up with this very beautiful organic type of brand image that's like very clean yet inviting. And they took advantage of this like single scroll page to create a cool like linear story for the company. And so these are some things that you might create when you join the industry branch. And yeah, I'll pass it back to the external VPs for this semester's clients.
Awesome. Yeah, so one really quick note I want to make is that the main difference between the industry branch and the bootcamp, as Alexis mentioned earlier, is that we work specifically with startups, which is always really exciting for us because we're contributing really meaningfully and like helping them really kick off their products, get a web app running, boost their online presence, and really just help them as a development team of anywhere between 7 to 8 developers and designers, as well as a product manager. So you'll be working with a couple of different developers, as well as having a product manager overseeing. So that's kind of what the team structure looks like. But yeah, I'll go ahead and jump into our first potential client, or I guess not a potential client, but yeah, our first client. A little bit about them before we like really release everything, but they're going to be a digital habit tracking platform that allows individuals to kind of monitor their productivity. They're able to compete with their friends, as well as be able to see each other's activity on like what they've been doing, like creating a dashboard to visualize how much time they're spending on each application, each tab, each specific website, that kind of stuff. And we'll be building out this full stack application for them. They already have a design. We might be working on some mobile designs for them as well, but it's going to be a pretty big project that we're hoping to get done. So I'm really excited about this one. And yeah, I'll go ahead and pass off to Nico to talk about our second project.
Yeah, so the second project that we are planning on doing this semester that I'm super excited about is for an autonomous last mile delivery startup. And we're going to be building a full stack web portal that serves as sort of a portfolio management platform and store for a limited set of non-fungible tokens or NFTs. So it's going to be a really cool project combining a lot of design work, web development work, and blockchain technology, which will be really sick. And we haven't really done something like that before. So this semester is going to be really cool.
And there's also actually one third project that we'll be having each semester. We try to have 3 projects, but we'll be releasing information about that a little bit later. And yeah, so if you guys are interested, definitely please stay tuned, or feel free to email us to learn more about who we're talking to right now.
Yeah, so if you're not really sure about where to apply, don't worry about it at all, whether it's the bootcamp or the regular industry club stuff. There's a bunch of different entry points for people of all different skill levels. So by default, your application will be considered for both the product bootcamp and the industry branch. And if you strongly prefer one or the other, you can let us know on the last question of the application. But again, if you just leave it, then you'll be considered for both. And then you can also talk to us in breakout rooms at the end of this info session. And then there are also coffee chats and tabling on Discord every single day. So if you join our recruitment Discord, you can see all that stuff and ask questions and whatnot.
Alrighty, thank you everyone for talking, explaining and sharing about all the work that we do as a club. I'm gonna take over now and talk a bit more about our culture. And yeah, this is just a lovely photo from our banquet last semester. Yeah, so culture is a huge priority at WDV. We are a family who loves to study together, get food together, go to hackathons together, and have fun together. One thing I do want to emphasize is that, yes, we are a web development club. We have clients, we work together. So working really, like completing our projects and putting our work really does come first. But at the end of the day, we like to work hard and also play hard. Yeah, so this is going to be our culture speech, which is really just an explanation of our values that we try to give whenever we can. So the 3 values we have at WDV is transparency and clarity, energy and excitement, inclusion and acceptance. So what do they all mean? Transparency and clarity means that we don't hide anything from anyone. If you are a member of our club, all of our resources are open to you, whether it's recruiting or web development and whatever we can provide or have provided. Another practice that we have is actually we open our executive meetings to everyone. So any club member can attend these meetings, learn about how exec makes their decisions and what goes on in the inner workings of the club and how things are organized and how things are decided. Onto energy and excitement. So what that means is you're bringing energy and excitement to the table. We care about our members in the sense that we want you to be in our club because you want to be here, that you're developing a website because you are passionate and excited to develop using cool new or like maybe even just trendy web development technologies. We really care that you want to be here and that you're passionate about what you are doing first. And last but not least, inclusion and acceptance. And this is the most important of all because this is the pillar that I think makes us special and it makes us run smoothly. And this just means being good people before being good workers. So that means we are open and accepting of all backgrounds, ethnicities, experiences, age groups, and so on. We believe that being accepting and open to everyone's experiences is what makes us better people. And it's what makes us better team workers and team players so that we can work together much better. And yeah, now we're just gonna hop through some photos. So yeah, these are just some photos of all the fun that we had last semester, a conglomeration of our socials, retreats, other like team gatherings, sub-team socials, and so on. As you can see, again, we love to work together, but we also love to play together. And I think that's really what makes us special. And it's part of how we like to relieve our stress and get closer as a club. And as you saw earlier, those are some like huge like club-wide socials. And sure, like they're not the best way to get to know everyone in the club. So actually a system that we had in place last semester is it's called donut chats, where we had one-on-one pairings between members of our club. And this is just an opportunity for you to get to meet people on a more intimate setting, get to really know them, because sometimes at bigger socials, it's really hard to have a deep or like meaningful conversation. But these donut chats really help you to get to know everyone in our club. Yeah, and so these are just some photos from last semester's donut chats.
Okay, Alina, yeah, thanks for getting us all sentimental with those pics from last semester. But you guys are probably wondering, you know, what's in store for this upcoming semester? Yeah, so First of all, on the social side of things, we've got lots of fun, COVID-safe socials and trips planned. In fact, our club was like born during the pandemic, so we know how to run like virtual socials if that ever like needs to be a thing. We're also planning a big little program, which is something new that we have in store for this semester. So new members will be paired up with people who have been in the club for a while, and will help you get integrated into our club culture and just have a blast together. We've got tons of bigger events like our retreat, our banquet, and we're also planning for a club-wide hackathon. So tons of big events for you guys to get involved with as well. And most importantly, we're all just a community of passionate developers and designers. So just being able to mingle with each other, grab boba after general meetings, or just like stop by someone's house whenever you guys want to, I don't know, play like Smash Bros. Like there's tons of stuff you guys can do, and we're all here for it. On the professional side of things, we have resume and cover letter workshops and tons of other workshops planned for like professional development opportunities. We've got guest speaker panels featuring company recruiters from tons of startups, tons of more established companies all across the board. Another new program is our mentor-mentee program that we're going to have with club alumni. So that's going to be something really cool to look out for. You'll be able to get an understanding of what it's like to work in the industry and have someone who you can lean on for advice if you ever need it. And we have a club referral pipeline, as well as a resume book for people to drop their resumes in order to help in the internship and job search. So tons of opportunities for everyone, both on the professional and social side of things, and we're really looking forward to it. I'll pass it off to Alina for recruitment details just to finish it off.
All right, thank you so much. Yeah, recruitment details. Let's get right into it. Yes. So recruitment, it's almost over. Yeah, so just a real quick overview. Our applications opened last week, January 18th. I won't go over the schedule for Infosession since this is our absolute last Infosession session ever for this recruitment season. But how will club applications or decal applications work out? So real quick, club applications are due January 28th. That is tomorrow at 11:59 p.m. Our decal applications will be due January 30th. I know somebody asked this earlier, but just to reiterate, club application and decal application results should come out within 24 hours of the due date. Yeah, but going forward into the club, after the club applications are due, we will invite you back for a technical interview. And that's again, like dependent on like which branch you so prefer. I'll elaborate a little bit more on that later. But yeah, those are invite only. They will be happening February 3rd through 4th. And finally, if you pass the technical interview, we'll invite you back for a final interview, and those are happening February 6th. As we are wrapping up recruitment, I do want to mention we have tabling and coffee chats that are happening on our Discord. We have one more day of coffee chats. It will be running from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. We have a sign up on our link tree. You can again find the link on our website as well. Same with tabling. Tabling, we have one more day again, and that will be 5 to 7 p.m. tomorrow evening. And those will all be happening on our Discord. So yeah, those are just an opportunity for you to hop in, ask us questions, get your questions answered directly by someone from WDB, and really your opportunity to learn more about the club. Yeah, so just to elaborate a bit more, yeah, written apps are due January 28th by 11:59. Yeah, so this is a hard deadline. We won't be extending it. So yeah, please apply on time. Yeah, so once you pass the club application, we will invite you back for a technical interview, those will be happening February 3rd through 4th. Again, those are invite only. So how we decide what interview to give you, we have it split up between front end, back end, and design. We will give you a mini project that you will be completing over the course of 3 to 4 days. And then at the end of it, we will be meeting with you for an hour. And the interview is just an hour of you demoing your code, showing us how you work through the project, and just us learning more about what you did for the project. If you pass the technical interview, you will then get invited back for a final interview. This will basically be a behavioral interview. This is happening February 6th. Again, it's invite only. And this is really a chance for us to get to know you, who you are as a person, who you are as a developer, and for you to get to know us a little bit more. Again, this will be an hour. Something I do want to know, this wasn't fixed, but we are looking into offering hybrid technical and final interviews. These will be opt-in only. We will have an online opportunity for you to interview. But yeah, again, the in-person option will be opt-in only, and these will be taking place in, well, the location is TBD. But yeah, again, those are invite only. Yeah, so this is just a quick stick figure demonstration cartoon of how the whole process works. So in the beginning, the first table, that is you applying to our club through the club application. The second one being you applying again, not applying again. So after you've passed the club application, you coming to the table again for your technical interview, whether it was design or like front end or back end, and this just you demoing your project to us and explaining your thought process. And then lastly, once you pass the technical interview, you will come back to the table again, and we will have our final interview just to get to know you a little bit better. And yeah, and that's Anjan, and that's our co-president Anjan and our EVP Nico interviewing you. Yeah, so we get asked a lot of questions about what we look for in an applicant. And so here is a quick summary just to answer all those questions. One, we deeply value a team player and entrepreneurial spirit because we largely work with startups and a lot of them are just growing their businesses. But also you're going to be working on pretty large teams with various different people with different skill sets, developers, designers, and PMs. And so the only way that these projects succeed is that the team succeeds. And yeah, we expect that you can be a team player and have that entrepreneurial spirit. Secondly, we value a passion for creating, building, and learning. There's so many web technologies out there, so many ways that you can build the same frameworks or same website or like component that really we hope that you have an open-minded intent and passion for creating these platforms. Third, we want you to show us how you're looking to grow. Like I mentioned earlier, we are a family. We are here for each other, whether it's like as friends, but also as fellow web developers. We're here to help each other grow in our skill set and knowledge as much as possible. Lastly, don't take yourself too seriously. Always be willing to have some fun and learn from other cool people. Again, like we do work hard, but we also play hard. We love having fun with each other, and we are a pretty social club, and that's really the glue that keeps us together. And most importantly, be yourself. We can see, or we value transparency on the application. We really hope that the application is an opportunity for you to show your true self and for us to learn a little bit more about you on paper, more than just what your resume might present or like what the numbers might say about you. Yeah, so most importantly, just be yourself, and that's the best advice I can really give you. Yeah. So some final remarks. Thank you so much for stopping by. We have an attendance form. Please fill that out. The attendance form just lets us know that you attended an Infosession, and it lets us know how we can improve on our Infosessions going forward. So yeah, we'd really appreciate it if you could fill it out. And lastly, the second QR code is for our link tree, which is an all-in-one stop for our links to anything recruitment related or social media related. So again, please fill out that attendance form, and thank you so much for stopping by. We will now be opening breakout rooms for questions like Q&A time, and we have specific breakout rooms for specific roles. Anjan, if you want to go to the next slide. It's like not that important, but yeah. So please feel free to stick around and ask us questions. In the main room, it'll be Anjan and I and anyone else who's not assigned to a breakout room. Breakout room 1 will be our external vice presidents and PMs and developers to handle anything development related or project related in our industry branch. Our second breakout room will be Bootcamp. So that will be run by Edward and additionally Bootcamp counselors that are also present at this info session. So yeah, so any questions for Bootcamp, go to breakout room 2. And for breakout room breakout room 3, that will be designers. I know our VP of design had to leave a bit early, but we have some other designers also here who are able to run that room. And I'm going to open them now. All right, so breakout rooms are just open. Everybody please go to the respective breakout rooms. Yeah. And thank you so much for coming.